Imagine a world where you just never go to sleep. No naps, no midnight dozing, just you, hour after hour, awake. Sounds intense, right? But what actually happens if you try to stay awake too long? Most of us have pulled the occasional all-nighter, maybe for an exam, a work deadline, or just a Netflix binge gone wrong. The grogginess, the yawns, the foggy thinking. But those effects are just the surface. What happens when you push past that? Here's the thing. Some researchers and a few accidental self-experimenters have actually tried to answer this question. For science, for records, or sometimes just for curiosity. Their experiences are a warning, but also a window into how our bodies and minds unravel without sleep. Let's start at the beginning. The first 16 hours or so awake? No problem. If you slept well the night before, your brain is humming along, your muscles react just fine. But why does it only take one missed night for things to start falling apart? See, sleep isn't bonus time. It's maintenance, like cleaning out junk from your brain, restocking vital chemicals, and even taking out the metabolic trash. Staying awake interrupts all that. But what's the first thing to go when you skip sleep? At around 18 to 24 hours awake, your reaction time and judgment get noticeably worse. In fact, studies show you drive as poorly as if you were drunk. Bloodshot eyes, slow reflexes, weird lapses in attention. Besides mistakes at the wheel, you'll feel hungrier, crankier, and your immune system becomes less effective. Think about that. After just one night, your body is already more vulnerable to viruses and stress. But here's the question. What if you push through? Let's say it's 36 hours with no sleep. What do you think gives out first? Your mood, your muscles, or your mind? Truth is, by day 2, it's your mind that blinks first. Concentration is shot. You might stare at a sentence for minutes without absorbing it, or forget why you walked into a room. Your brain slips into microsleeps, tiny flickers of unconsciousness that you don't even notice. These microsleeps are alarm bells. They're your brain's desperate attempt to snatch moments of rest, shutting down neurons for seconds at a time while you might still look awake. So, how long can you keep going before something really weird happens? Let's enter the territory of the extreme. In the 1960s, a teenager named Randy Gardner set the world record by staying awake for 11 days, 264 hours. Monitored by doctors, his sanity gradually unraveled, but he survived. So, is sleep deprivation ever fatal? Surprisingly, simply not sleeping isn't directly lethal for humans. You'll be miserable, memory shot, hallucinations, immune system crumbling. But you won't just drop dead of exhaustion. So why does it feel like you might? Well, scientists have seen something different in rats. When kept awake continuously, rats die after 2 or 3 weeks, possibly from infection, maybe a total metabolic breakdown. But with humans so far, the body forces you to sleep long before fatal damage sets in. But if it's not usually fatal, how does extreme sleep loss actually feel? Here, things get truly bizarre. After just 2-3 days, you'll notice you're not just tired. Your whole reality starts to warp. Think of your brain as a city running on borrowed power. As reserves fade, blackouts start. Trouble remembering words, stumbling speech, even visual or auditory hallucinations. Some people report seeing shadowy figures, hearing voices, or feeling like the air itself shimmers. The strangest part? You likely wouldn't realize how bad it's gotten. Self-awareness collapses. You might insist, "I'm fine," while making nonsense mistakes or seeming detached from reality. You see where I'm going with this? There are rare cases where forced sleeplessness turns dangerous. Fatal familial insomnia, a genetic illness, stops people from sleeping until they waste away, physically and mentally, over months. It's a reminder. For most of us, sleep is a necessity, not a luxury. But let's look at shorter-term effects. After 48 hours awake, studies show your hormone levels are scrambled. Cortisol, the stress hormone, spikes, blood pressure rises, and your body starts breaking down muscle for energy. Worth losing sleep over? Socially, things get weird too. People become withdrawn, moody, even paranoid. Simple arguments can explode. Shy people may blurt out secrets or become uncharacteristically reckless. So sleep deprivation doesn't just affect you, it warps your relationships. Actually, some governments have used sleep deprivation as an interrogation technique, because beyond a certain point, anyone's mind becomes so scrambled that distinguishing real memories from imagined ones is almost impossible. It's not just the mind. Your body's ability to heal is stunted. Wounds close more slowly, infections get a head start, and even how your skin looks changes. Dull, puffy, older. Why does this happen? Blame the repair work sleep does every night. You might wonder, is there a way to train yourself to need less sleep? People have tried, from polyphasic sleep schedules to micronaps, but almost nobody can sustain it for long. The debts pile up, brain fog returns, and mood plunges. Nature always wins. Let's bring it back to the beginning. Imagine now that you're 3 days in, no sleep at all. At this point, basic coordination is lost. Walking feels like wading through molasses. Would you trust yourself to remember your own phone number? And as hallucinations grow, the dividing line between dream and waking blurs. Some people see colors swirling in edges of their vision, or feel as if they're floating outside their own bodies. At what point do you stop being fully yourself? Here's the twist. Eventually, if allowed, your brain will just shut down for sleep, sometimes even with your eyes open. You may experience sleepwalking, muddled speech, or lose minutes to blackouts you can't recall. It's not a lack of willpower, it's biology taking over. But let's ask, why do we need sleep at all? Why hasn't evolution found a workaround? The answer is, even creatures that seem always active, like dolphins, which sleep with one half of their brain at a time, still need sleep to survive. From insects to humans, sleep isn't wasted time. It's when we process memories, wash away neural toxins, rebuild tissue, and reset our emotional balance. Without it, we lose the ability to focus, remember, and even control our feelings. Fascinatingly, scientists are still debating what exactly sleep does. Some think it's mainly for memory. Others say it regulates metabolism. Some point to mental health or even the immune system. The real answer? Possibly all of the above. What about the notion of staying awake for creativity or genius? Some inventors and artists have reported wild visualizations or ideas after skipping sleep, but over time, performance plummets. Inspired becomes incoherent. So, when you hear friends bragging about powering through the night, remember, sleep deprivation might make you feel briefly invincible, but under the surface, your mind is slipping, and it's only a matter of time before it wins. Yet, for some, the pressure to skip sleep never goes away. Think medical interns, soldiers, new parents, shift workers. The world turns 24/7, but our brains just can't keep up forever. What does that mean for how we structure work or school? After prolonged sleep deprivation, recovery sleep is like an emergency repair crew. It can fix some damage, but not all. Lost memories, missed chances, and physical wear don't magically vanish with one good nap. So, why do we act like sleep is a luxury? Maybe it's cultural, the idea that hustle needs sacrifice or that needing rest is weakness. But what if every hour lost was an hour your future self is borrowing on credit? Let's zoom out. Across the world in 2026, sleep deprivation is now recognized as a public health issue, linked to car accidents, depression, weakened immunity, and even shorter lifespan. Skipping sleep isn't just a personal risk, but a societal one. Here's the paradox. Even though we can force ourselves awake with caffeine, alarms, and deadlines, our most brilliant selves, creative, focused, kind, only emerge after true rest. You can't cheat biology, but you can make sleep a priority. So, next time you think about skipping sleep for just one more thing, ask yourself, who pays the price? Your memory, your mood, your body, or maybe the version of you who wakes up tomorrow? After all, being awake is only half the story. Sleep writes the rest. Maybe that's the lesson. When you surrender to sleep, you're not giving in. You're making the future possible. Sleep is not wasted time. It's the foundation everything else stands on. And when you really think about it, what would you rather lose? A few hours of productivity or the part of you that makes living worthwhile? In the end, if ever in doubt, let sleep win. Everything and everyone will make a little more sense in the morning.